Welcome back to the Arts Department, everyone. I'm Autumn Rain Turkel, and this video is a time-lapse. It's a time-lapse of a character sketch that I did on my stream. I'm on Twitch Monday, Wednesday, and Friday evenings, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 1900 hours. The character itself is one of my viewers' characters, and she described it to me, and I thought it'd be a lot of fun to draw, so that's what I did. Hope you like it. Here it goes. All right, so as with most sketches, you start off with your prompt or your description, and luckily I had her in chat, so I just asked her questions on the fly and started producing this character. It's a dryad sort of character who protects a grove of ancients. I'm remembering quite far back, so I may or may not be remembering correctly. Essentially, I just went in, started drawing. You can't see, unfortunately, some of the lighter lines there, but the drawing itself was just of Dryad, which is a nature spirit, and it just kind of went in and started messing around with shapes and wanted to have some flowy, natural kind of feeling shapes to it, so I thought her hair would be really fun as roots. And then having those roots kind of wrap around also down her neck and across her clavicles. And this stuff is, it's pretty basic. It's very straightforward, just head-on character. So there wasn't a whole lot of challenges to it. It was just make sure that the shapes were pleasing. At this point, a lot of what I was trying to do with the art was to make pleasing shapes. Make shapes that look good together, that complement one another, but stood off and had an interesting silhouette that had a quick read. And the reason I did that was so that she could use it as a token on a virtual game board or as an icon for her character in DnD Beyond or something like that. You can see the two characters that I did as sketches, and then I had enough time, so I decided to go in and see if I could finish one out for the evening, just coming in as if it was a comic book or an animation cell, and doing all of the black line work, kind of putting in some heavier blacks there on the underside of objects as if the character was lit from overhead, and really defining those shadow shapes underneath to kind of pop things out and give it some dimension. Using line to do that when I could use tone at any point, really. But I did have a particular look in mind, and that was the cel-shaded cartoon comic book kind of feeling. So just coming in and being very careful and deliberate about each one of the lines and strokes that I put in here. I'm thinking a lot about straight lines versus curved lines and how to accent one or the other. So having a straight on the other side of two curved lines so that you get this kind of shape, or vice versa, a curve or two straights and then a curve, but having them play off of one another to create visual interest, because it's such a basic shape, such a basic design that need to have something that people can look at and appreciate for an icon of this size. So at the end there, just adding in some smaller lines, adding in some dark shapes, just getting things squared away, and thinking about the next step. next step was to put in flats, and to do that I filled in everywhere that I wanted to have color. The next step was to create a layer above that, and using Alt or Option, clicking between the two layers and linking them. And then that layer I could paint freely and not worry about going outside of the bounds of where I wanted color to exist. Basically, it's called a clipping mask, and it keeps paint within a certain area that you define through whatever you're linking to below that. You can see that there on the right hand side. I just keep on creating more and more layers for each shape. And the reason that I do that is so that I can use a hue and saturation adjustment on any one of those layers at any point and change up. You can see right there, change up what the color is of that particular shape. That way I don't have to fully commit until I get a balance of the colors that I want. You can see me just playing around, seeing what I can come up with, and deciding that I wanted to stick with my initial choices. So I filled in each of the elements, pretty basic. So I merged all those colors down once I had the flat colors that I wanted, and then I created another clipping layer and linked it, and on top of that I put a color, as you can see, in the blues, and set that to, I believe it was multiply or overlay, and that creates those shadow shapes that you see really quickly. It's a very fast process, a very quick means to an end to get to something that looks similar to a finished product. Finished meaning cell shaded, kind of like animation or comic book art. I went in, kind of popped out the eyes, made them a little bit more interesting, gave them some modulation, some lighter and some darker, and put in some highlights for the eyes and the irises, and then created another layer over that and set that to overlay mode, and that kind of created some light. And then at the base of her, you could see I darkened that up a little bit just so that there's some light to dark gradation over that flat graphic shape. And then went in and applied some effects, made the eyes glowy and the gemstones glowy because she's magical. Cropped it out and signed it. And there you go. And that was the entirety of the sketch. It went pretty quick. It's one evening's worth of work, just a bust portrait. So I hope that you found some value in the video. If you did, like, subscribe, ring the bell, do everything you got to do to get notified next time we post something up. While you're down there, check out the socials. We've got Twitter, Instagram, ArtStation with resources for artists, Discord if you want to join a community, and Twitch. Like I said earlier, I go live Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Come on by and join in the discussion. Love to have you there. That's it from the arts department. Keep drawing in. We'll see you next time. All right. Welcome back to the arts department, everyone. My name's Autumn Rain. Why do you got that in? That's stupid. That's just stupid. It's a character. Nope. Nobody cares. The sketch is dungeon. The sketch is a Dungeons and Dragons character. It was. I go live. The sketch is a Dungeons and. The sketch is a Dungeons and Dragons character. The character itself was a. Yeah. All right, that's it. That's it. And Twitch. I go live. and Twitch. And Twitch. I hope you found some value in it. I hope it taught. Twitter. We've got Instagram, Twitter, and while you're down there hitting that button,